Howdy folks, Brian Cusco here at Triple B, and we're back to you with another interview. Welcome back to the channel once again. Today's guest is Mr. JT Tomlinson, owner of On the Ball Pythons and Reptichip. JT brought us a very nice life learning experience I thought that everybody could benefit to listen to on business, ethics. So, good one. You're watching Triple B TV.
Just never into having my picture taken, so I always do awkward things when I'm like, I don't know, and then to reinforce it, when I was overseas, for the most part of the military and overseas career, we didn't ever get our picture. We were always blocking out cameras or stuff like that, so I got used to it.
Right.
And now cameras they kind of make me nervous now.
I think they make most people nervous.
Do they?
Fair. I think so.
Maybe, I thought it was just kind of like a me thing.
No, I think most people get nervous. I still get nervous on camera from time to time, and I do it almost every day. So it still makes people nervous, dude.
You've got a great interview, just a persona and style. I can see that, and it's not formatted, it's casual conversation.
I just want to have a spot where people feel comfortable talking about whatever they want to talk about.
You make it super comfortable. You just ask them a question, and honestly listening to what somebody has to say, how many people ask a question?
That's the idea of a real interview. If you don't care about what the person has to say, it's going to be a horrible interview. You can just trust her around people. I know she's never struck defensively at anything, ever. So I just love snakes like this that I can let kids play with and just let people cruise with and check out, and I don't have to worry about her,
There's so much
an episode.
So much more going on behind those eyes than there are with, other species.
Well, the other the thing that adds to that effect is the fact that there's a lot of snakes that can't move their eyes inside their sockets. They're just kind of fixed. Whereas these guys can actually look around and look at you. It definitely adds that effect. When they do little eye turns, there's a
you're being watched.
Yeah, you're being watched, and they look back at you. It's like dragon eye, She's cool though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a gorgeous girl.
How did you get into keeping?
I think the fascination began when I was probably about 4 or 5, and my dad caught a hognose snake in the yard, and it did the whole play dead thing and all that, and we just thought, oh shoot, we killed it, and watched it, and then
rolled
back over and started taking off. And I was just fascinated by snakes ever since. When I got into the business side or hobby side was college. I'd gone on a hike and caught a bull snake on a hike. I was like, I gotta keep this thing. This is really cool. Kind of had a lot of personality and a lot of, it was a big animal, powerful animal. Kind of sparked the fascination again. And so we took it into the local snake farm to have it identify, if it was a male or female, and started learning about snakes. And
you had a local snake farm?
Yeah, we have the snake farm. It's in between Austin and San Antonio. It's in New Braunfels, or San Marcos actually, and it's pretty well-known place. So when we're in there, he says, I'll buy any snakes that you find around here. I said, really? And so for the next 2 years, that's how we made beer money. We'd go road cruising and sell him snakes just for his collection and all that. So we got into that and breeding a little bit of corn snakes and clubrids. And then I went into the military and had to sell everything. And so I went through about 15 years of coming back from deployments, getting animals, having to sell them again.
You were deploying for 15 years?
Yeah, well, let's see, about 12 years every year.
Wow.
For 12 years, yep. From about 2001 to 2014, so maybe 13 or 14 years. And then finally said, I'm gonna make a cut from being overseas At the time I was doing contract work for the military. Saved up enough money. It's like, what am I going to do? My only skills are protecting people. I didn't want to babysit people in the stateside, so I thought, hey, why not go into something you love? And started building up a collection. Started a company called On the Ball Pythons, and kind of like evolved from there.
When I first got in, I knew On the Ball, like right when I first started getting into the ball python thing. So it was,
oh yeah, so we had a good presence going.
Yeah, you had a presence going.
That's good. That's real good. Because I had no idea what I was doing. No background in business or anything like that. Just I kind of run everything just like, I guess that whatever I learned in the military, kind of apply it to what I think is right in business. And so,
what are some of those, like, what would you say?
Some of those lessons, I think taking care of people would be the biggest thing, which is basically customer service, right? You can plan as much as you want, but if you're not taking care of the people on the ground, your customers, or further on down the line, like distributors or representatives or sales reps for you or whatever, I think that's, they have to come first. That has to be the priority in your mind. And as a leader, people think, you're a leader of something, you're the boss, people exist to support you, and it's the exact opposite. As a leader, you exist to support other people. And in turn, the back end of that is they make you successful. That's the big thing. I think also learned a lot about planning. We started Reptichip later, and we started it like I was going to do like an operation, like if I was going to take over a place, So we started in Texas, and then we got a distributor in Florida, and so slowly started working up until we finally got a distributor here in California. So it was a slow process just to bring stuff over and trying to do it right anyway. So that's those things, but I had to learn I had to learn a lot about business, business finances and stuff like that. That's no joke.
Oh,
that takes
that makes me, that gives me fear thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like that's, there's whole new lessons to be learned, but I think it's the experience. And I guess one of the final things I'd say with the military was one of the best lessons that I learned was not to ever quit. So like you start something, whether it's a breeding project or a side business or anything like that, you start something and you fail, it doesn't work, you learn your lesson, and then you kind of switch gears and figure out what does work. You keep going and keep going and keep going. We have animals die, projects never pan out, clutches don't hatch what you want to hatch, your rat barn, like the AC goes out and everything dies, but you never quit. You're always moving forward. You're always, okay, hey, we took a hit, we took a loss, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going forward, and we're not gonna quit on anything. So I'd say that's probably one of the most influential lessons that I learned in the military.
Well, it's working out for you because things are going well right now.
Things are going good. This is our first Pomona show. I'm stoked to be here. I've never been out outside of training. I've never been out to this part of the country. Never seen such a variety of animals, especially, it's not just animals actually, it's like variety in vendors and variety in the door and the customers coming through. It's a solid show. They bring a lot of great people through the door, and I was so impressed by, I thought for sure, like the aisles are pretty big here. I was like, oh good, you're gonna be able to get around inside this shit. Nope, it's still packed, just like most other big reptile shows. So yeah, definitely, like this is, it's nice to get a good regional understanding of kind of the region, and that's why we're here, is just kind of like see what California and the West Coast is kind of all about.
You got to come up north sometime too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people think California, they think of LA. But
that's not it.
We're a big state, man. We got a lot going on up there that's not as much people necessarily, but it's, I'd love
to
you to
come.
come.
Northern California shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a Sacramento show that's up there, it's pretty big, and
Yep.
you can go check out like the redwoods and stuff, because that's a whole side of California that's like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think you would really dig it.
Yeah, and no doubt, I've got a lot of plans to start going to some of these other shows. It's kind of just the start of it. Like, I still haven't been doing Daytona. You know, we've pretty much done the Herp show circuit in Texas, and the NARBC shows. But I'd like to get out and about and see a lot of people and meet people and like do stuff like this. I mean, this is fantastic.
Yeah, man. Well, cool. I'm gonna look forward to seeing you. The
Yeah,
shows there.
yeah, man. Yeah, you get around too. So see you there.
Dude, well, thanks for sitting down and talking. to me
Yeah,
about
absolutely,
that,
absolutely,
Is
brother.
there anything else that you want to go over in particular?
Nope. I think that's probably enough of me for everybody.
There's some really good stuff in there. So I was like, especially the lessons you learned from the military and bring it. The thing especially about like taking care of people, and that was a lesson you learned to have a successful business. You take care of people. That was a good, huge message for. I think that's gonna be big.
Well, good.
Thank you, bro.
It's all off the cuff,
Appreciate it.
man. I'm glad that works.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for sitting down and chat with me again, JT. It's good talking to you, man. And I look forward to seeing you in more shows. And there will be links down in the description for all JT stuff. If you guys are ready for next week, you'll know that we're diving back into the Herpaton Talks, which we're doing every other week here on the channel for the next, who knows how long, until we run out of stuff. Maybe that'll happen someday. Probably not. Until next week, you've been watching Triple B TV. Y'all take care. Until the...
Hungover and everything. I hope we already cut.
That'll go in the bloopers. It's going in there
the
for sure.
bloopers.
And they were both, they both fit in the palm of my hands when I got them. But then she stayed this size, and the purple albino is the biggest retic I have now.
Really?
Yeah.
She not a dwarf or anything?
I supposedly the genetic stripe morph it came from a dwarf locality.
Okay.
So which would explain why she's so much smaller.
Oh man. That's
Yeah,
a
that was
beautiful
good,
animal,
man.
Good.
That was really good.
Good.
You did a fantastic job. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
You're keeping up with the trend of people saying, I don't know how this is gonna go, and then it's like that was really good.
I've got a face for radio, man.
I don't know about that, dude.
I'm not a good. I'm horrible at cameras.
I'm pretty hetero, but you're a pretty good looking dude, bro.
Well, thanks. Hey, if you ever go the other way, maybe and I go the other way, we'll work something out. We're still filming, aren't we?
Blah blah. Blah blah. Blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.